Hi friends, today we're talking about Dior Makeup versus Chanel Makeup, and I'm going to be sharing with you my top shelf products from each brand. For the past 10 years, I've tried almost everything from Chanel and Dior Makeup, and that's why I feel confident to talk about each of these two brands. I wanted to share with you my knowledge so that you feel confident next time when you go luxury shopping. And I'm going to be sharing with you the best of the best. These are products that I use on a daily basis and not just on camera. These are products that look beautiful in real life and for real women. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I don't and I have never received anything in PR from Dior or Chanel. These are all products that I have been purchasing for more than 10 years with my own money, so I have experienced some expensive mistakes, and if you don't want to end up having drawers full of expensive makeup, this video is going to be for you, because I'm going to guide you also how to approach each of these two brands. What is the major difference between these two brands? I want to make this video educational, valuable, and beginner friendly. So if you're new to Chanel and Dior Makeup, here is the major difference that you have to know. Chanel Makeup is focused on timeless beauty products. Their products are usually easy to use, and Chanel as a brand is more predictable. Their textures are very beginner friendly, and you can expect more consistent quality with Chanel Makeup. They are all about that timeless Parisian elegance that everyone can use and that looks beautiful and universally flattering. Dior Makeup, on the other hand, are couture focused brand. So their products are going to focus more on different trends. They are going to be slightly more unpredictable compared to Chanel, and they are going to experiment with textures, they are going to experiment with styles, so you don't always know what to expect exactly. Some of the Dior Makeup is very beginner friendly and easy to use. Other products are developed in a way that they are going to replicate studio lights, they are going to work on the runway, they are going to represent different vision of the brand for a certain season, and this may make them a little bit harder to use for a beginner. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and start with my foundations. If you're a regular viewer to my channel, you know that one of my most used complexion products is Chanel's Water Fresh Tint. This one is quite an extraordinary product. It is very light. It's not a foundation. It is a tint, and it contains 70% water. A lot of brands have tried to replicate this product, but I think that they're not successful. I have tested the dupes of this product, and this is quite a unique product that works. It looks like skin, but it has a very light coverage. It is buildable, but the most that you can get from this one is going to be light coverage. This is my most used product. It's very easy to use. The reason why I love it is because I also use it under my eyes, and it contains 70% water, and that makes it especially suitable for the under eye area, especially if you're 30 plus years old or 35 plus years old. We all have problems with creasing of the makeup, and if you don't need a lot of coverage, this is an excellent product to use all over the face and also under the eyes, because it basically doesn't crease that much as a concealer would, because the coverage is very light, and also since it contains 70% water, it basically plumps up the fine lines on the skin. The downside is that the shade range is not perfect. I personally have to mix two colors to get my exact shade, but this is a product that I would definitely recommend trying if you are new to luxury makeup, or even if you have already a collection. This is one product that you cannot get on the market. That's my personal opinion, and it's a Chef's Kiss. I like to use this one on a daily basis, and then my top shelf Chanel foundation is going to be the Numero 1 de Chanel foundation. This one is extremely easy to use. It looks exactly like skin, and it has a light medium coverage. Chanel don't have an actual full coverage foundation, because Chanel and Dior, and in general luxury brands, don't like this fully masked skin, because full coverage foundation is usually going to take away the luxurious effect. So the Numero 1 de Chanel foundation, it is infused with some skin caring benefits, and I use this foundation every time when my skin is irritated, or if I want a little bit more coverage compared to the Water Fresh Tint, because still this is like for those no makeup days, whereas this gives a lot more sophisticated coverage, a light medium coverage. It doesn't emphasize fine lines, pores. We're moving on to Dior, and my top shelf complexion products from Dior are primers. One of them is going to be the Dior Forever Velvet Veil Primer, and the other one is going to be the Dior Forever Glow Star Filter. Except for one, currently I own all of the Dior foundations, but I don't reach for them on a daily basis. The reason is because Dior's foundations require a little bit more technique. They are not as beginner friendly and they are not as easy to use as Chanel's products. Let's say with Chanel's bases, they are very beginner friendly and they work on most skin types. And even if my skin doesn't feel and it's not in a perfect condition, I know that Chanel's foundations are going to be very forgiving to my skin. When it comes to Dior, I know that I have to prep my skin quite well and I have to use the right tools. When it comes to Chanel, whatever I take, whatever I grab, they just look naturally beautiful. The Dior Forever Velvet Veil is the perfect primer. Sometimes I just like to use it all over my face, like on those days when I want to create a no makeup look, but I want just my skin to look better. If you use it like a traditional primer, then use it strategically. Don't use it all over the face, but it's very lightweight and it just blurs pores and imperfections a little bit. So this doesn't add coverage, but it definitely blurs texture, pores, and imperfections, and it gives this soft focus matte effect, like a very light filter on the face. So I really love this one and I use it quite often, especially when I don't want to use makeup. And then the other product is the Dior Forever Glow Star Filter. This one again is very, these two products are not often mentioned by professional reviewers and professional makeup artists. And I don't know why really, because they are quite easy to use. And I think that they don't get the hype that they deserve. But the Glow Star Filter, I personally like to use it like the most natural looking highlighter just on the high points of my face. Even when I don't wear anything, any foundation, this product literally takes my skin to the next level and makes it look healthy, cared for. Some people are going to use this product all over the face. I personally do not like it. I don't think that the glow that it gives is flattering. It doesn't contain glittery particles, but my preferred way to use it is just on the high points of the face. Of course, you can use it as a primer, as a glow-based primer, and then apply foundation on top. So these are like multi-purpose products that can be used alone or under foundation, and they work beautifully. Until recently, I didn't have a top shelf product from Chanel and Dior when it comes to concealer. But then Chanel released the Ultra Le Tan Concealer, and currently it's my favorite. It is the concealer that I use most often, almost every time when I use concealer lately, I'm using the Ultra Le Tan Concealer from Chanel. This is the only concealer that I have been using since it was launched because it's very lightweight. It has, I would say, a solid medium coverage and it feels very lightweight. I own the iconic Dior Forever Concealer. It is not my personal favorite. It's not something that I reach for every single day. This video is just, and my videos in general, are like face-to-face chat with a friend. I would love to hear your thoughts. I know that it's a cult favorite, but for me, I have it, I never use it. I also have the Backstage Concealer, which is really good, but my top shelf concealer, the only one, is the Ultra Le Tan. I actually reviewed this concealer, compared it to also side by side with the iconic Sublimage Concealer, which is the premium concealer of Chanel. And I asked you in the comments, because I applied the Ultra Le Tan concealer on one side and then the Sublimage concealer on the other side, and I asked you to comment which side you prefer. A lot of people, I think, just said that they prefer the Sublimage concealer. I personally prefer the Ultra Le Tan concealer, but I think it's a matter of personal preference. My number one concealer. It feels lightweight, it doesn't crease on me, it doesn't feel drying, and at the same time it has a soft matte finish. When I don't sleep well and I actually need my under eye area to look quite nice and perfected, I like to use this one. By the way, when you apply concealer, if you don't want concealer to crease, I am going to have a video dedicated specifically on concealers and how to apply concealer. So make sure to subscribe, turn the notification bell on. I would love to welcome you here and watch for this video. I think that I perfected the routine for concealer, and I'm going to show you also tricks on how to fix if your concealer has creased during the day. So watch for this video. I constantly try everything new that Dior and Chanel release, and that's why until recently I didn't have a favorite Dior powder, but now I have. So My favorite powder from Chanel is going to be their newest travel size loose powder. It is not the same as the big size powder. I have the big size powder as well. It is good, it's very nice, but this one is better. This one is brilliant for actually blurring the pores, blurring texture, imperfections. The way I like to use it is with a damp sponge. Make sure to squeeze out the sponge real nice, and then take a little bit of powder on the back of your hand first and then press it onto the skin. It removes pores, imperfections, it smooths everything out. It's one of the best powders ever. And I have tested, I think that I've tested nearly all powders on the market, because since my 20s my skin has been oily, and for me powder has always been this magical product that a high quality powder is the only product that can actually enhance texture and can remove texture. But that's another story. From Dior, my top shelf product, and equally good as this one, is the Dior Forever. This is again a new release, and it's brilliant in my opinion. And this is the Dior Forever Nude Radiant Filter in Luminescent. This is quite an extraordinary compact powder that Dior released. I have been mentioning this one in a lot of my videos, and it's actually very firmly pressed. Now, not to be mistaken with the Dior Forever Nude Matte Powder. They come in different shades. Okay, these two are different. The effect is completely different. I like this one, I reach for this one, I don't reach for this one. So what is the difference here? The luminescent powder, it looks white in the pan. Don't worry, I cannot swatch it for you because it's impossible. It's so firmly pressed, and you have to use a very dense brush to get this powder, or a dry sponge. But it erases pores, and it's the most lightweight powder that I have ever experienced. For more than 10 years of testing luxury makeup, I've tested also drugstore makeup. These two powders are completely different. The Nude Matte Filter is going to add coverage. It's perfect for if you're in your 20s and with oily skin and you want to skip foundation and only wear powder, or if you want just to apply SPF and then powder and get a little bit of coverage, then this one is excellent. I find that this one, I don't like it when I apply on top of foundation, because for me it just feels a little bit heavier because it adds some coverage. That's why they come in different colors. Not this one, this one. This one works on all skin tones, and it just perfects the skin. Do you need both of these powders, and how are they different? No, you don't need both of these powders, and yes, they are different slightly. Both of these powders are excellent to give this more airbrushed effect. They almost add like a filter to the face, a light filter. Obviously this is a loose powder, so how I would suggest you to apply it is you can apply it with a brush, but the best way to apply this one to get the most airbrushed effect is going to be with a damp sponge. Take a little bit of powder on the back of your hand and then onto your face, and you're going to get a beautiful blurred effect. This obviously is a compact powder. Don't use it with a damp sponge because you're going to ruin it. Use it only with a dry sponge or a firm brush with firm bristles, because even if you go in store, if you start swatching, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to say this one powder has a hard pan. No, it's just very extraordinary. It doesn't have a hard pan. You just have to use it with a brush, and it only applies on the face. You can't really swatch it here on the finger, which is a good thing because it works on all skin tones. The Dior Forever Nude Radiant Filter is going to blur pores a little bit. If you have pores and texture, uneven texture on the skin, maybe scars, let's say, then this one is going to be a little bit better because it smooths a little bit more if you have texture. They are both like a filter on the face, just this one is a little bit lighter. This one is capable of actually blurring not only pores but also texture if applied with a damp sponge. So it all depends how you apply them as well. Next, we're moving on to blushes, highlighters, bronzers. For blush, my top shelf product is going to be Dior. And this is irreplaceable for me. It's not this one, it's actually this one. So this one is the classic Dior Rouge blush in Dansante. This is the most extraordinary, the most beautiful neutral nude blush. This is one of my most used powder blushes, the Santé by Dior. It is a neutral nude color that works beautifully used as a blush or just to sculpt my face. It's elegant, it's gorgeous, and it's not a completely matte blush. It doesn't have shimmery particles. It is just right. This blush is chef's kiss, and it's one of the best blushes in my collection overall. I love it. Next, again, a top shelf product that I use very often, and this is a combination of contour and a highlighter. And Dior have, I believe, 5 of these palettes. I have 3 of them. Now, one thing that you have to remember about Dior makeup, as I mentioned, they are dedicated to couture makeup. And all of these palettes, each of these palettes, they are different. So they are not consistent. The formula is not consistent. The only one that I like and wear is this one. Even though I have 3 of them and there are 5 in total, I've tried all of them. This is the only one that I would actually use, and I definitely recommend. And this is the Dior Rouge Blush Color and Glow in number 100 Diorissimo. This has the most lightweight, the most finely milled highlighter. I like to use this one either alone to contour and sculpt my face. The highlighter is so finely milled. This is actually what I have on my face today in this video. It's perfect for everyday wear, and it's perfect for the office because even in direct sunlight, this one does not contain shimmery particles, so it's pure satin finish. It's basically like silk. And sometimes I like to mix the 2 colors together and just sculpt my face, and this compact can also be used on the eyes. I've used this one on my eyes in a video. I'm going to make sure to link it in the description in case you're interested, but very often I'm actually going to take this one when I'm traveling because I can use it on my cheeks, on my eyes, and it's like a multi-purpose product, truly a beautiful creation from Dior. And then, of course, I have to mention a blush bronzer Harmony from Chanel. I have 3 of those and I only use the light coral one. All of these are beautiful. Now, they are quite firmly pressed. One thing that you have to know about Chanel makeup in particular, Chanel makeup doesn't swatch well. It's the kind of makeup that is timeless. It's made to be used on the face. It's not made to make this impressive Instagrammable swatches like some makeup brands, luxury makeup brands or indie makeup brands that have really high pigmentation, or think about brands of makeup artists. They are going to make impressive swatches and the colors are going to be so pigmented. However, they are usually hard to control. With Chanel makeup, it's all about the ease of application. It's all about that beginner-friendly makeup products that you can use and that anyone can use with ease. And this is a brilliant product. This product was released as a limited edition, and then obviously it was quite successful, so they decided to make them permanent. You can still buy this one and choose the color harmony that is going to suit your skin tone. My personal favorite and the only one that I use is light coral, but this one is beautiful just to be used as a blush or as a sculpting. Now, one tip that I want to share with you, don't try to use the highlighter and to isolate the highlighter, use it alone. You can isolate the bronzer and the blush, but the highlighter, not really. The best way to use this one is to swirl the brush between the bronzer and the highlighter, or between the bronzer and the blush, and this is going to give you the most luxurious, expensive, beautiful effect on the skin. This is a gorgeous product. It is quite big, but I really enjoy it. And then we're moving on to 2 products that were very misunderstood, I think, in the whole beauty community. They are from the Dior Backstage line. Dior's Backstage line is specifically designed and developed for makeup artists. That's why the packaging is going to be lighter, and some people describe it as less luxurious compared to their regular makeup line. The reason why the packaging is lighter is because this makeup line, the Dior Backstage makeup line, was developed to be used by professional makeup artists, and they carry so much makeup that for them it's going to be much easier to carry lighter products. And that's why also the products from the Backstage line, you're going to notice probably when you go in store as well, they are going to have different coloring, because it's very easy for a makeup artist to have all of, let's say, 6, 7, 8 blushes. It's going to be very easy for them to just pick the color, instead of with the regular makeup line. For example, this is the blush and this is the contour and highlight duo. They both look the same. So if used by makeup artists, they have to literally turn it upside down, you know, to read, oh, okay, that was the color in Glow, let me take this one. And then, ooh, the blush. The only way for them to know which blush they are looking for is going to be to have some stickers on top of them. But it's a lot more convenient and easier if they can just see the color right away. So this is why the packaging of Dior's Backstage line is lighter. Another thing to keep in mind for the Dior Backstage line in particular, the products are not going to be very beginner friendly, and they're going to require, some of the products are going to require a certain technique to achieve this professional beautiful effect. These two are products that I reach for daily, and I use them and I love them, and they are basically they are the Rosy Glow Stick blushes. And the only one that I use most often is going to be Toffee. I also like Candy, but Toffee is my most used one. These received a lot of negative reviews in the community, and the reason is because a lot of people started using them directly and straight on top of their foundation. And this is quite a glossy product. It is a professional makeup product if you want, and the effect that it creates is beautiful only if used correctly. I actually showed in a video how to use them to achieve this beautiful effect. If you go ahead and apply this one straight with the stick on top of your foundation, it is only going to move your foundation, it is going to look glossy, and your hair is going to stick to your face. You're going to hate it, and it's normal. The way you actually want to use this product is after you finish your makeup, on top of your powder, take a little bit with your fingers, blend, and just press on top. It is going to bring back life to the skin, and also the makeup is going to be more long lasting, more beautiful. Another product that I reach for very often is going to be the highlighter. I have 4 of these highlighters, Dior highlighters. Depending on the color, you can use it as an illuminating blush or a classic highlighter. I only use one shade, and this is the pink one. It is the most beautiful highlighter, and it blends beautifully in the skin. It doesn't look glittery. However, keep in mind that with Dior, as I mentioned, you can't expect consistency. Dior is a brand that often experiments with different finishes and different textures, and depending on the color that you choose, you're going to get a different amount of highlight. Some of their products, like the pearlescent one, is going to contain big chunky glittery particles that are not suitable for work, depending on where you work. But if you work in an office, then it's not going to be the best one. It's not something that a lot of people would like. This one is safe to be used every day in office because it just adds glow and it doesn't have visible glittery particles. I like to use it without foundation, even sometimes, just to add this glow and expansive look to my skin, sometimes on top of my foundation. And we're moving on to eyeshadows. I constantly tend to use Chanel's eyeshadows. I have a lot of Dior and Chanel eyeshadows. I buy most of their eyeshadows. I have most of their permanent eyeshadows from both brands, and I have a lot of their limited edition eyeshadows. But I constantly go back to probably 2 eyeshadow palettes. Lately, in the past year, my most used eyeshadow palette has been Les Quatre Ombres Tissé Vendôme from Chanel. I also like Tissé Rivoli. Those of you who have been following me for years are going to know that my favorite used to be Tissé Rivoli. It still is Tissé Rivoli, but for some reason my current most used one is going to be Tissé Vendôme, and I keep repurchasing the Chanel eyeshadow palettes. I have a lot. This one just never fails me. When I want to look beautiful put together, I don't have to think about this eyeshadow palette. Now, something that you have to know about Chanel and Dior eyeshadow palettes. Chanel's eyeshadow quality is more consistent. You're not going to get these Instagrammable swatches. You see, when I dip my fingers, they are made to be used on the eyes. They are not made to be used on Instagram to create this really impressive swatches. But the good thing here is that they are consistent. I can rely on them, and they look beautiful, soft and natural on the eyes, and they are actually made in a way that they enhance the beauty. They are beginner friendly if you want. Lately, when the Comets Collective took over Chanel's makeup creation, they started to experiment a little bit more. So when it comes especially to the oversized palettes, blush and eyeshadow palettes, which I personally do not love, they are experimenting with textures, with colors. You don't really know what to expect. But with the eyeshadow palettes, pretty much the quality of the eyeshadows of Chanel is and has been very consistent. So this is my most used eyeshadow palette. When it comes to Dior, now this is a little bit hard. I own a lot of Dior eyeshadows. For some reason, I don't really reach for them on a daily basis because Dior is more when I want to create a certain look, when there is a certain look that I'm going for, or in the weekend. But for day to day, when I want to get ready quickly, look elegant, polished together, and I want to feel safe, let's say. I want to feel safe. I want something that is going to work 100% because I cannot waste time in the morning. Then I go for Chanel. When it comes to Dior, they experiment with textures a lot. Even their whole permanent eyeshadow line, different eyeshadow palettes are going to have different quality. They are going to experiment with shimmers, with textures. Some of their eyeshadows are going to be more firmly pressed. Some of their eyeshadows are created specifically to work under certain lights, and some of them are created to work on the runway. So you're not going to get consistency with the Dior eyeshadow palettes. It is a little bit more when you want to feel a little bit more adventurous, when you want to create this really fashionable runway couture look, and when you're just in the mood to experiment a little bit more. So this is the main difference that you have to keep in mind. And Dior in general, they release a lot more eyeshadow palettes over the year. Let's say for 1 year, Dior are going to release a lot more limited edition eyeshadow palettes. That's because they experiment. They create makeup for their ad campaigns, and they are creating a lot more compared to Chanel. So that's for the eyeshadows. I don't want to just pump this video with a lot of products. I want to show you what I actually use as someone who works, not just tests makeup. I enjoy testing makeup. I love buying makeup, but this video is all about showing you the products that I actually use, getting to know what to expect as well. And we're moving on to lipsticks, and here I'm just going to give up. I love to change my lipsticks daily, depending on the season, depending on my mood. So here I don't really have top shelf products, and I have drawers full of lipsticks. I have almost all of Chanel's lipsticks. I have a lot of the Dior lipsticks as well. I constantly keep buying lipsticks, and this is just an obsession that I can't deal with. So I'm just going to give you like a quick highlight of what I think is worth checking out. A lot of people underestimate the Chanel glosses. I think that they are the best. A lot of people love, and I think that one of the most viral Dior makeup products is their lip oils. I personally don't love them. I have a few of them and I don't use them. Even though they look beautiful, I just, for some reason, they are slightly minty on my lips, and I don't like mint. The Chanel glosses, on the other hand, I have, over the years, I've had all of them, and I keep repurchasing them. I currently have, I believe, 5 or 6 of them, and they are just the most comfortable ones on the lips. So if you're looking for a beautiful, high quality, luxurious gloss, lip gloss, please check out Chanel. I think that they're very underestimated, and they have some of the most beautiful lip glosses. I really like also the Rouge Coco Flash lipsticks, and probably when it comes to Chanel lipsticks, I should do a whole video and maybe a few videos showing you different color ranges like pinks, nudes, reds, because I can't show you everything here, and I'm not consistent when it comes to lip colors. I like to change those. One of my most repurchased Chanel makeup products, lipsticks, lip balms. Okay, let's say lip products, is going to be the Chanel Rouge Coco Balm in 928 Pink Delight. It's the color that I have on my lips now, and I tell you, on camera it doesn't look impressive. And in real life, it doesn't look impressive, but it looks like my lips, but better. It makes me feel confident. I don't have to think about it. I just put it on, and I know that I look put together. I don't grab attention. I'm not begging for attention. When I go to work, In my daily life, I don't beg for attention. I don't want attention. I just want makeup that works, that looks put together, elegant from morning until evening, and I don't like to check my makeup every couple of hours. This one is just easy to apply even without a mirror. It's beautiful, but a lot of people find this formula in particular to be drying on the lips. So I wouldn't say blind buy this one maybe, because Chanel have two formulas. A lot of people used to complain about this lip balms that they have a dry formula, and it's not a classic lip balm. It is slightly more matte. It's a lip balm, but a little bit more matte compared to your classic lip balms. And this is what a lot of people disliked. This is exactly what I love, because I don't like glossy lips at work. I don't find it to be too professional. And it's always like you worry with the too glossy lips that something is going to stick. I don't know, that your hair is gonna stick onto your lips. So the lip gloss that I keep repurchasing is 119. It's a beautiful pinkish nude color, suitable for every day. And I usually like to pair it with the glosses. I like to pair them with a little bit of lip liner. Two of my top shelf lip liners from Chanel. These are basically that I use on a daily basis. One is going to be from Dior, is going to be 310 Beige Tulle, and it's the best nude lip liner that I've ever had. It is my favorite. It is my number one. It is my lips but better. It helps me to contour my lips beautifully. And then from Chanel, my favorite one and the most extraordinary one is 164. These two are colors that I have a lot of lip liners. I don't have similar colors. These two, in my opinion, they are unique. And then I do have a lot of Dior lipsticks. I really love them. Probably the one color that stands out to me is, I love the matte Dior lipsticks. The matte Dior lipsticks are my favorite formula, but because it's a soft matte, it feels very weightless on the lips. But if you have dry lips, of course it's a matte formula, so you have to expect that. But they really, Dior, I think they truly have couture colors. They have so many colors, and I keep adding more and more to my collection, but I think that's so far my most used one, 429. It is a little bit dark for my skin tone and for my lips, and that's why I apply this one lightly. And to make it a little bit lighter, I mix it with Beige Couture, which is a very pale beige color on its own. It's truly a couture color that if you apply it on its own, it doesn't look that impressive and beautiful, but when paired with other colors, I basically use it to make some deeper shades a little bit lighter so that they can suit my skin tone. And that was all for the makeup. And I recently discovered a quite unique product from Dior, the roller perfumes. I've never tried them, and they are completely a new experience for me, because they're actually not like your typical roller perfume, but they have a gel texture, which makes them incredibly long lasting. Now I purchased I have all three of them. First of all, I purchased the Eau de Parfum and I loved it. I purchased the backup, and then I purchased the other two as well, the Parfum version and the Blooming Bouquet. Blooming Bouquet is usually going to be very not long lasting. So if you like Blooming Bouquet but you're worried that it's not long lasting, then definitely go ahead and try these roller perfumes. My personal favorite is going to be the Eau de Parfum. I get compliments all the time when I use this one, and it literally lasts from morning until evening on my skin because it is a gel texture. And I think that this is what makes them quite long lasting and irresistible. So that was all for today's video. I didn't want to put a lot of products and share with you products that I don't actually use. Let me know if you want me to do an overview of Chanel or Dior makeup specifically, because we can go over the whole makeup line and I can show you what's best, what's worst, and how to choose the products that are going to suit your preferences and your skin type and your skin tone. And let me know what are your top shelf Dior and Chanel makeup products and why. I love to chat with you. Until next time, bye.